Welcome, this is the third video in the series about bubble sort. Now what we have here, we start with an array, and the array contains strings Rome, Shanghai, London, Seattle. So we start with an array consisting of randomly shuffled strings, and in this case the strings are words. Now what we want to do is that we want to arrange these strings, stroke words, so that they are in ascending order, i.e. they are in alphabetical order. So we finish with an array of strings where the strings, stroke words are in ascending order or alphabetical order. And the question is, how do we do that? Well, there are many types of sort algorithms, but in this particular case we will use the bubble sort. Okay, so here we start with the array Rome, Shanghai, London, Seattle. And what we do is we compare the first two elements of the array, Rome and Shanghai, and we ask the question, is Rome less than Shanghai? Meaning, if Rome and Shanghai were arranged alphabetically, would Rome appear before Shanghai? And yes, it would. So what we do is we write the array again, and in this particular case, Rome and Shanghai are written as before, and there is no swap of these elements. Now the significance of the term swap will become apparent shortly. So now we compare the next two elements, Shanghai and London, and we ask the question, is Shanghai less than London? So that means if Shanghai and London were arranged alphabetically, would Shanghai appear before London? And no, it wouldn't. So what we do is that we swap the two elements around, so we get this particular array here. So Shanghai comes there, London comes there. Then we compare the next two elements, Shanghai and Seattle. We ask the same question, Shanghai less than Seattle? And it isn't. So we get this array here where we've swapped the two elements around and Shanghai comes there, Seattle goes there. So we see we have compared all of the elements against each other in this particular array. So we've gone through the first pass. And after we have gone through the first pass, we see that Shanghai has bubbled up to the top. So what that means is that if the elements in the array were arranged in alphabetical order, Shanghai would appear last. So after the first pass, so to speak, Shanghai bubbles up to the top. So we have one element in order. Now, because Shanghai has bubbled up to the top, we call this sort of bubble sort, because it's the mechanism of bubble sort. Now, we've got Rome, London, Seattle, Shanghai. We start with that. We ask the question, is Rome less than London? And it isn't, so there's a swap here. So Rome goes here, London goes there. Then we compare Rome and Seattle. We ask the question, is Rome less than Seattle? And it is. So therefore, we write out the array again, and there has been no swap there. And at this point we stop, because the second to last element in the array is now in alphabetical order, and that is Seattle. So now what we have at the end of the second pass, the next sort of highest string, so to speak, Seattle has bubbled up to the top, and what we have here is that Seattle and Shanghai are in order. Right, so now we have London, Rome, Seattle, Shanghai, and we compare London and Rome. We ask the question, is London less than Rome? Well, no, it isn't. So we write the array out again exactly as it was before, and there has been no swap, or rather we write the array out again with no swap, with no exactly as it was before, because there has been no swap. And at this point we stop, because we have had Rome, the third highest string, which has bubbled up to the top. So what we get here is three elements in alphabetical order here. So here we've got third pass, and after the third pass, Rome, the next high string, has bubbled up to the top. So it's taken us 3 passes here for us to sort this array of 4 elements. That's all for now, folks.